Hey guys, I'm going to discuss caffeine as an ergogenic aid used in athletics. Ergogenic aids are procedures or substances that increase physical performance. Caffeine is the most popular ergogenic aid that is consumed and can be found in beverages, foods, or over-the-counter drugs. Altogether, caffeine can benefit athletes in many ways, and some of the benefits include increased metabolic rates, increased reaction time, increased alertness, decreased fatigue, decreased nervousness, increased cognitive capabilities, increased endurance performance, improved strength and power performance, increased glycogen restoration rates during recovery after performance, and increased anaerobic exercises. The type of athletes that would benefit from the consumption of caffeine, most would say most, if not all, athletes would benefit from caffeine use before performances, but some examples would be endurance athletes like swimmers, long distance runners, cyclists, basketball, soccer, hockey, field hockey, lacrosse, rugby, and football players, some anaerobic athletes like sprinters, long jumpers, high jumpers, shot put, pole vaulters, and in addition, baseball and softball players. It is also important to mention that there could be some disadvantages of caffeine use that could include lack of sleep if the caffeine is taken too close to sleep, could cause dehydration if not enough water is consumed with that caffeine, addiction to the caffeine, also nervousness, anxiousness, upset stomach, restlessness, dizziness, diarrhea, and headaches. It is important to mention that as an NCAA athlete, it's important to read over the NCAA guidelines on the supplements that you can use and the amount that you can use. The NCAA requires that athletes do not consume more than 500 milliliters of caffeine at least 3 hours before performance, as well as not consuming guarana, which is a banned substance by the NCAA that is in a lot of caffeinated beverages or food or over-the-counter drugs. So it's important to, before consuming that caffeine, to read over and make sure that guarana is not within that product. Overall, my recommendation for a basketball player is to consume caffeine before strength training, before practices, before performances, but just make sure that you're not consuming over 500 milliliters of caffeine daily, and that the caffeine that you're consuming, it does not contain guarana. Also, to get the most benefits from that caffeine use, you should try to take it within 30 to 75 minutes before performance or exercise, because that caffeine can benefit you for up to 4 to 5 hours if you consume more than 300 milligrams of caffeine. Also, make sure you figure out what the amount of caffeine works for you before performances. Is not the same for everyone. Some of the factors that could influence the amount of caffeine that you need for performance would be the tolerance to caffeine, your height and weight, your age, the activity length that you're performing, and the type of caffeine being used, and the amount of milligrams of caffeine that's within that product. So overall, caffeine is a great product to use for your performances. Just make sure you're following the NCAA guidelines presented. Thank you.